Backlash? I'm not even good enough for Backlash? Hey yo, if you got that reference, comment down below where it's from. But yes, guys, we just got off of Backlash in France. It happened a few hours ago. And to start things off, this was a great show, mainly due in part to the French crowd. I'm not even trying to exaggerate when I say this, but that crowd in Lyons, France may have been the loudest WWE crowd I've ever heard on TV. Like, I've been to arenas, I've been watching wrestling for 20 years, I think that may have been the loudest crowd. Apparently, Triple H even got a message on SmackDown last night from somebody in the area that the decibel levels in the building were so high that it could harm the hearing of people in the arena. Like, what the hell? I say this as an American. We are very spoiled. North American wrestling has AEW, has WWE, has all the prime indie scene, and we get to see these shows every single week in different states throughout the country. We just get wrestling shows, and sometimes we're loud, sometimes we're not, because we're just used to having it. These countries that go years, sometimes decades without getting a wrestling show, they lose their fucking minds, and we get shows like this because of it. So WWE's on the right track. They're going to Saudi Arabia next, I think later this month. They're going to Canada for Money to Bank next month. Then they're going to Bash in Berlin. Oh yeah, Clash at the Castle is in June. That's in Scotland. So we need more of these shows, because this show right here is why I love wrestling so much. And trust me when I say a crowd really does make a match better, because there was one match on this show. There was one match on this show that if it were not for the crowd, let's not waste any more time. This is my review of Backlash in France. Opened the show with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa and the debuting Tama Tonga representing the Bloodline. Before the belt even rung, these four went straight at each other. Security came out, producers came out, they were getting thrown everywhere. This brought out, what's the manager's name? I almost said Adam Pearce. This brought out Nick Aldis, who basically scolded all these men like he was a very angry father. Okay, you guys cut that shit out. As a matter of fact, no countouts, no disqualifications, ring the bell. Just like that, the match is now basically no holds barred. And these guys took full advantage of that. They were all over the arena using trash cans and chairs and kendo sticks. Tables were getting thrown over, whether it be regular tables or the announce tables. So we've seen so many no holds barred, Extreme Rules type matches in WWE and other promotions that a lot of the time I feel like it's just kind of I just become kind of numb to these spots because we see it so often. When WWE lets their wrestlers go out there and actually have fun, it is some of the best wrestling you can find on WWE programming. You don't have to do anything super dangerous to get there. As proof of Randy Orton watching Kevin Owens go for a dive off of the barricade, then going to the same barricade, pretending to dive, but then jumping down. Like, I'm not doing that. Work smarter, not harder. This is why we like Randy Orton. I'm not going blow for blow. Just know they were brawling for about a good 15 minutes up until Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga. Jesus Christ. Kevin Owens sets up 4 steel chairs. Boom, 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 boom. Tama Tonga tries to give him a superplex on those steel chairs. Kevin Owens just... Watch this.
Superplex is crazy. Wait, no. Oh!
Now Kevin Owens goes for the pin. 1, 2, until he is pulled out of the ring by a big Samoan guy. And we all thought Jacob Fatu. But no, it was actually former New Japan Pro Wrestler and brother of Tama Tonga, Tangaloa. Which is not something I ever thought of or heard any reports about, so it was an authentic pop from me. I was very shocked by this. This threw Kevin Owens off his scent, led to Solo Sikoa getting the upper hand, hitting the Samoan spike, and even hitting an Uranage on top of a chair to get the win for his team. Bloodline wins this match, and there is so much to get into about what the potential future is for the Bloodline, but I'm not going to spend all this time on that. We'll do that in another video. But I would honestly give this match 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really entertaining. Not gonna see any gnarly or crazy or bloody spots, but it's just overall a fun time. There was a new debut, the right team won. You can't really go wrong with this. We then had Bayley defending her women's championship against Tiffany, Stratton, and Naomi. It was a pretty good triple threat match. There's nothing innovative that came out of this multi-woman match that we haven't seen before. There was some trading pinfall spots, and there was a lot of tag team / 2-on-1 scenarios between like Bayley and Naomi on Tiffany or the other way around from time to time. Lots of near falls, but like nothing that really made me ever believe that Naomi was going to win. I thought maybe, just maybe, they would give it to Tiffany, but like overall, I'm like, Bayley should be retaining here, right? Ultimately, Bayley did retain off a reversal pin spot. She is still your women's champion, and I don't think anybody should be too upset about that result. I think Tiffany Stratton will have her moment. If anything, I would peg her to win the Money in the Bank briefcase this year. All I know, she'll win that briefcase and cash in on Bayley. It's just not her time yet. Honestly, I would give this match like 3 3/4 out of 5 stars. I was going to give it 4, but then I recalled there was definitely some like sloppy moments in the match and some weird pauses. And there was like one instance where like Naomi just seemed kind of lost, like she didn't know what she was doing. Other than that, I had generally a fun time watching this. And this is another match where the crowd really helped, because otherwise, I don't think this match would be as high as I rated it. Damen Priest versus Jay Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Admittedly, I'm a little mixed on this match, because I thought in the very beginning to even like the latter half of this match, it was, you know, good back and forth brawling from the two men. Nice counter, hope spots, you know, just a lot of energy from both of these two. Jay Uso's kind of had this track record in like some of his big matches where he'll just get to a point where he's doing nothing but super kicks. I know people like to make fun of the Young Bucks for that, but I feel like we gotta be fair and call a spade a spade. Jay Uso, sometimes he turns into Young Bucks 2.0. Yeah, that's cool enough, you know, the first like minute, 2 minutes or so, but then you're going into 3 minutes and you still doing super kicks and wait for your opponent to kick you back, and it's like, you don't got anything less than the tank? I mean, the match is almost over. Uso is just so charismatic that I think a lot of us tend to excuse it, but sometimes it really exploits itself, and I'm like, next spot, bro. Balor and Jade McDonough interfered in this match twice. The second time, it actually worked to their advantage because Damen Priest caught Jay Uso lacking, going for the Uso splash. He had a, I don't know if it's High Justice or South of Heaven from the top rope, and got the pin to retain his World Heavyweight Championship. Another result where it's like, I don't think anybody should be too shocked that Damen Priest retained his title. As over as Jay Uso is, it is just not time for Damen to drop it just yet. I did say in the other prediction that, you know, I got Tiffany pegged to win Money in the Bank. Jay Uso, I don't know about that one. Because at its core, it is a good match. On the surface, it is really good. It's just sometimes you get to a point in a Jay Uso match where you're like, I'm ready for the finish to happen now. Damage controls Kairi Sane and Asuka defend their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against 2/3 of the Big Three, Jade, Cargill, and Bianca Belair. Okay, this match was a little... Like in the beginning, you know, they were starting to cook up something. I was looking forward to it. They were keeping Jade on the outside, you know, really building up to her comeback tag. They were working to her. She got into the ring, and then within like a minute or two, somewhere they just got lost. I don't know what happened, but they got lost. I don't know if Jade actually hit Kairi Sane hard enough to the point where she got knocked ditzy for a second, but Kairi Sane was just kind of all over the place at one point. In spots, apparently at one point she either wasn't the legal woman and tried to go for the tag. I don't know if it was she wasn't paying attention and she tagged out and she wasn't legal, or the referee wasn't paying attention and she did tag in and it wasn't. But that whole sequence for a good minute was just weird and sloppy. And it didn't help because Jade, I love her to death, but you know what I mean, she still is in the progression stage of her career. When Kairi got lost and Jade's in the ring, Jade too was lost. She didn't really know how to follow up on that, and it definitely showed here. If you watch it, it just seemed like Jade was waiting for Kairi to do something, and Kairi didn't know what to do, so they were trying to make stuff up, and then they started botching. I don't know. Like, when it's Bianca and Asuka in the ring, I was like, okay, thank God. Jade's standing in the middle of the ring, and Kairi's on the top rope. She goes for a top rope Rana. Jade catches her, spins her around while she's on her head, like spins her around into electric chair position, drops her down, and catches her, positions her back up, and hits the Jade. It was one of the craziest transitions I have seen. So she very much made up for what was going on earlier. Not that I forgot it, but she didn't make up for it. Bianca followed that up, hitting her KOD from Asuka on the Kairi, and they got the pin. They are your new tag team champions. Couldn't be any happier. Said it once, I'll say it again. The end goal here is Jade versus Bianca. When and where, doesn't really matter. Just don't do it so close to right now. In the meantime, between time, this This works. I'm rocking with it. The match, though, I'm going to give like 2.25 because it was... AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes is one of those matches where it's like, okay, so I wouldn't say AJ Styles is washed, but he also isn't like at his peak performance anymore. Like, he's older, slowed down, not quite washed yet, though. Cody Rhodes, top of his game. Putting out some of the best matches of his career. Just came off one of the best matches of his career at WrestleMania. First time they faced off against each other, how are their styles going to mesh up against each other? And you want to know something? It exceeded my expectations by a lot because this match was fucking fantastic. Cody Rhodes has this very simplistic yet easy to consume and easy to get behind way of telling stories in the ring that just works every single time. What would you guess? He probably gets it from his dad and his brother, who are really good at telling stories in the ring. AJ Styles went blow to blow, though. He came into this match and he said, Cody, I'm going to meet you there. Cody hit, AJ would try and hit harder. Listen, I know I've been out of the game watching Raw and SmackDown up until recently, but like, when's the last time this guy hit a springboard 450? And when they were trading blows with each other, they both had this look of intensity on their faces, and you just... I never bought for a second that AJ was going to win this match. But there were a few near falls where I'm like, you were close, Cody. You were close. The ending stretch of this match was just phenomenal, and I did not do that on purpose, but it was. I really did like the fact they were trading finisher counters throughout the match, but it wasn't until the very end where we saw only one finisher get hit, and it was from the man who won the match. Cody Rhodes hit his crossroads, got the pin. That was it. I for sure thought AJ was going to kick out and they were going to go another like 5 minutes, which would have been fine by me. But that was it. One finisher, that's it. And I like that level of storytelling because now it builds to a potential next match where when AJ hits the Styles Clash, you're going to ask yourself, is that it? Because he didn't hit the Styles Clash in this match. Had he hit it, would he have won? Cody Rhodes won with one crossroads. Is one enough to do it next time around? It's stuff like that. It's why I love wrestling. But yes, Cody Rhodes did get the win to retain the championship. And like I said, I thought it was a fantastic match. Now, I've very much been going back and forth on the rating for this match, but I think I've settled on giving it 4.75 out of 5 stars. It was a great match. I have no complaints. I just feel like this match missed something. Like there was something missing, and I feel like they did it intentionally. They left something on the table for a next match. And I think that was just that it was that one finisher and that was it. I think if there was a kick out there and it went like 5 more minutes, this would have been a 5-star match. But they ended it here, and I get why they did it. And I'm not downplaying the fact that it is a great match. I just would not give it 5 stars, but 4.75, it's right up there. If there was a 4.99, I would give it that. But I don't like doing the whole half of a half. I think that's very dumb. So 4.75 out of 5 stars for me. I gotta ask you guys, do you guys think this match is 5 stars? Do you think it's lower than 4.75? Let me know down below. And that's my review of Backlash and Friends. Comment down below what you thought of the show. Talk more soon.